Hey guys, happy holidays. I am going to be book talking Geekerella by Ashley Poston today. I read this in a day over the Thanksgiving break as part of a challenge of how many books can librarians read over the 9-day break. And I got to 6, and Geekerella was one of them. So the other books that I read over the break were the Never Never trilogy by Taryn Fisher and Colleen Hoover, and that was really good. The trilogy kind of fizzled out towards the end, so eh. And then I read Geekerella, and it was so cute. So if you don't already know, Geekerella, Ella, is a modern retelling of Cinderella, but it has to do with Comic Cons and fandoms, and it was so cute. I loved it. I'm not like too big on Cinderella stories, but this one was so cute. So you've got your story about Elle, of course. She's the main character who's treated like crap by her stepmom. She has no parents, her parents are dead, and she has two really spoiled stepsisters. And so she's kind of like cast to the side. She lives in the attic, she takes care of everything in the house, and she works in a food truck, if you can't tell by the cover. And she really just wants more. She wants to get away from her life of kind of being a slave, like we know, and she's just kind of waiting for the next big thing to happen. But she lives for her fandom, and she has a blog where she writes fan fiction for her stories version of Star Wars. And it's really, really cute. And so it goes back and forth between perspectives between Elle and the boy, and his name, I always forget his name, is Darian. And Darian is an actor, and he just got cast to play the Federation Prince Commodore, who's like their, I don't know, Edward Cullen, or their guy. Like, he's the main guy in their series, and so everyone loves him. But everybody in their fandom is really upset because they're like, he is just like, he does soap operas. What does he know about being in this? Like, what can he bring to our story and our show? So it's kind of like how Star Trek was a show and now they've made it into movies, and it's that sort of idea in the book. So they've taken this show that everyone is obsessed with and they've brought it into a movie. And so they got this guy who's a soap opera actor to be their main character, and everybody is like, Ugh. And so Elle is especially pissed because she has grown up with her fandom. Let me remember the show's name just real quick. Um, Okay, it's not even, whatever. I forgot the name, but either way, it's their version of Star Trek and Star Wars. So it's super nerdy, and she's so cute with her. She has a blog where she covers everything about the show. Like, she knows what episode what somebody appeared in, and she knows the name of every episode. She knows everything about the show because this is what she lives for. It was one of she and her dad's hobbies when he was alive, and now that he's gone, she's kind of just taken it for herself. And so it goes back and forth between their perspectives. And what you don't know about Darian is that he is a huge nerd too, and he loves this show, but he's really worried about being enough to be the Federation Prince Commodore. And he's really worried about being able to capture that character because he also loves this show and he also loves being a part of the fandom. And he wants to be more than just another actor who gets cast in a big role. And he learns, how to deal with being a part of this huge fandom, not just being a part of it, but being literally in the fandom. And so it's a really cute story. Obviously, it's a little bit of a romance, but what's really funny is that Elle hates Darian. So she posts all these really bad blog posts reviewing him about how he's a terrible actor. She hates him. She thinks he's just going to ruin everything. And so it's hilarious because when she actually meets him, she's kind of really mean to him and really ugly, and is just like, go away. Like, who are you? Why do you think you can be in our fandom? You have no business here. And so what happens is she wants to be in Excelsicon, and Excelsicon is her dad's Comic-Con that he started when he was alive. And so she goes and she dresses up as the characters from the show. And of course, there's a ball where she's going to meet the prince. And so in order for her to be at the ball, she has to win the cosplay contest there. But of course, the evil stepmother is going to stop her from going. Something's going to happen to the dress where it gets ruined. And it's so cute who ends up being her fairy godmother in this version of the story. I'm not going to tell you because I want you to read it. Ashley Poston did an amazing job of capturing true fandoms and like how everybody comes together, whether, what you identify as, or what your background is, or just anything about you, and they all come together to celebrate their fandoms. And it's awesome because there's a part when Elle gets to the Comic-Con and everybody is just a different character, and there's people who are in hardcore cosplay like she is, and then there's people who are just like in a t-shirt and jeans, and then there's the people who are just like, oh my god, like mind blowing them. And she captures that really well, because if you've never been to a Comic-Con before, that's very much how it is. Like, you've got a whole range of people, and so she did a really good job of that. My dog's really excited today. So she goes to the Comic-Con, she does the cosplay contest, and of course she makes it to the ball. But she doesn't realize that she's been communicating with someone this whole time, and that someone ends up being Darian. And so, of course, there's a little bit of romance, and I'm not going to tell you because it's actually a really sweet romance. Shush! She's really whiny today. It's a really sweet romance because they don't know who each other are. So he doesn't know that she's just Elle, and she's kind of important because her dad started the Comic-Con, but she doesn't know that he is Darian, who's playing the Prince Commodore. And so it's really cool when they find out who each other are, because of course she hates him. She's been giving him these terrible reviews. But then, of course, this is a Cinderella retelling. So at the end of the ball, she has to run away. And of course, it's going to end up where she has no way of getting back to him other than a glass slipper. But how is he going to find her? They live forever away. He's famous. He obviously doesn't have time for it. And that's what's really cute about this retelling, is that she makes it very believable for these things to happen. You're not reading it going, that's not a thing. Like, that's not going to happen. No, it actually does. And she makes it awesome. So Ashley Poston, major props for this book. It is beautiful. It is hilarious. It is the perfect amount of romance balanced with fandoms, balanced with nerdisms, and it is just awesome. And of course, there's a happy ending. This is a Cinderella story after all. But you have to see how cool this book is. Like, the cover is beautiful. Look at these little stars. And I'm thinking that has to do with their show, because it's like Star Trek-y kind of things. And then it's got her really cute pumpkin food truck that she works in with her really cute dress, and she's texting because that's how she's communicating throughout the show. And then this is the dog that she adopts throughout the book. And the back has Darian texting while he's filming the movie. And I'm just going to undress the book for you. Look how pretty this cover is. Oh, the name of the show is Starfield. Sorry, super late. But look how pretty this cover is. It's a really pretty teal, like aqua-y color. And the side is silver. But look, it has the emblem for the Starfield characters and their ship. So it's really cool and no big deal. But I have a signed copy from Book People in Austin. When Texas Teen Book Festival happened, they had a whole bunch of signed copies on hand. So we had a signed copy. But look how pretty that cover page is. It's totally Elle, texting with her glasses on. And then the inside cover is also really cute. They're passes to Comic-Cons. So if you haven't picked up this book, I definitely recommend it. It is a really cute, really sweet, very fast-paced, little bit of a romance, but it's a retelling. And so I really, really recommend it. Definitely 5 stars. I loved every second of it. Like I said, I read it in about a day. You're not going to want to put it down. I went back and forth between reading the ebook and the actual print book. I really would recommend reading the book because it's beautiful. Like, the details. I mean, look at the chapter titles. Like, they have the little borders around the names. The paper is really smooth. And then, like, when they're having text conversations, it just looks a lot cooler in the print book as opposed to the ebook. So, I mean, it was faster for me to read it as an ebook than reading it in print, but whatever. And then it's divided into 3 parts, and each one is a space background, and then it's got the name of the part and a little quote from Starfield. And so that kind of goes into how nerdy Elle is and how much she knows about this show. So once again, Geekerella by Ashley Poston. Highly recommended. Go check it out. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.